my time coming. I just know I'm next. I always stay 100. No, I don't gotta flex. I'm always staying loyal. That's till my last breath. And I don't need a group, bitch. I'm litty by myself. Mary Jane, she burning slow. Smoke it till it's pinky toe. My heart cold, I'm freezing in this heat, but warmer in the snow. They used to take me as a joke.
Trying this new thing of talking about my problems and the things that going through my head, because for the most part I just leave them in here, and you know, I like to lash out. So instead of me doing that, why don't I do something productive as far as, you know, recording it, getting my thoughts out, listening to myself, and kind of taking my times. I give good advice, but I don't take it. It should be an outlet for me to be able to express how I feel. I really don't know how to do this. I'm not really too good at this. So I'm just gonna start by saying, ever feel like you know what you're supposed to do, but you don't know what opportunities it's going to present itself? And I say that to say this, like, you ever meet like the perfect basketball player and you always ask yourself, like, why didn't he go to the NBA? You know, he had the work ethic, he had the passion, he had the skills, and sometimes life just hits you and it doesn't work out, you know? But I say that to say this, like, when do you really know what's your passion, you know? Like, I really thought at one point in time basketball was my passion. And that didn't work out, and not to say that what I'm doing now is not gonna work out, but you just get frustrated, you know? You don't get frustrated about the passion, you get frustrated about the opportunities, you know? And you feel like, not that people owe you anything, but their action doesn't match their words. And you start seeing other people do certain things, and you don't get an envious or jealous response, but you get a more curious and awkward response, like, why them? Why did they get the exposure that they're getting, you know? Or why did they get the opportunities that they got? And some people may say it's luck, some people say it's privilege, some people may say it's just how, you know, the chips fall. But I just feel like .95% of the time, the chips never fall in my hand, for the most part. And not to say that I haven't had the greatest life, because, you know, I'm healthy. I do have something. I have my girlfriend. You know, I got people who, you know, is riding with me, but I don't know. I just feel like opportunities doesn't always present itself for me, and I think that's one of my biggest, you know, things is like, is working hard enough, is being smart enough, is having passion enough. And I fight myself on this a lot, like, yeah, it's enough. But then I always circle back to the times to play basketball. And I would grow up and I would play ball at Westmoreland, and people would be like, you know, you're too small, like I said, and you're not good enough, you're not good enough. So I had passion, I worked hard, but I just didn't have the opportunities, you know? I didn't get to go to all the camps. I didn't have that one coach who believed me and took me along and showed me how to, you know, be successful. And I think that when you don't have that guidance and that leadership, it hurts you. It really does. It hurts you in the long run, because you have to go through life blindfolded. And I feel like no one should go through life blindfolded. Like, it's already hard enough. And one thing they always say is like, you know, have mentors or have friends or have people around you that believes in you, supports you, and see your vision and can help you mentally get to where you need to go, you know? And it seems like I always run into people who are takers and not people who enlighten me on things and gives me perspective and teaches me things and help me learn new things and potentially give me opportunities. It's like I'm always serving the food but never obtaining any food, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have my own cook, chef up stuff and give me ideas and motivate me and see the things that I see and kind of do the things that I do. And it's kind of hard feeling like no one understands you, you know, and then eventually getting frustrated and lashing out or just not understanding. And it's like you can solve all these problems, but one problem you can't solve is people. You know, you can't present certain people in your life. I believe that everything happens for a reason. You have to run into the right people. But the question is, how do you run into opportunities? How do you run into the right people? How do you get people to see your vision and see what you want to do? And do they care, you know? When you do something that is out of the ordinary, it's already tough. But when you do stuff that's out of the ordinary with no stability, help, guidance, passion, and, you know, people, it gets tougher. It's like when one person screams, it's loud. But when 1 million people scream, it's amazing. And I feel like a lot of my times I'm yelling, but and never being heard. And I think that I am somebody who can articulate myself. I think I'm pretty intelligent. I think that I can sell a story, pitch a story to anyone, and tell people anything, but I tend to question, should I explain myself, because will people understand and will people benefit from it and do something with it, you know? It's like I've told my story a lot of times, and it inspired people in a day, maybe a month, but it doesn't resonate to people how I want it to. It doesn't get people to wake up and say, I need to be behind this 100%, not you know, when I want to, or not when it's good, or not because I feel like I need to, but because I just believe in what he's doing, you know? And people may see your vision, but in the end have their own purpose. And it never resonates to them that what you do could help them. And in a sense of one sacrifice could be the sacrifice. And I always ask myself, like, do I say enough, or do I ever say too much? Because, you know, growing up, I used to be the type to say too much, you know. I'll see what everybody's thinking, and everybody is, the elephant is in the room, and I will state the elephant in the room, or I will say something out of anger and frustration and say the wrong thing. And I tend to always say the wrong thing instead of the right thing, you know, in sense of lashing out instead of helping and speaking my truth and understanding that someone else can relate to my story. But more than that, they can relate to my story and it can resonate and be transparent in the things that they do. You know, times it's hard to ask yourself, is this even worth it? You know? It's like, you know it's worth it, you know it's the right thing to do, but time and time again, life has shown you that things ain't always what it seems. And people have their own agendas. And you may think that they see what you see or believe what you believe, but they see a dream, and not a good dream, a sense of like a dream, like, yeah, it's an achievable dream. They see like folk tale, you know, something that inspires you to do something, but people don't believe that the story. And then I get to ask myself, like, do I become a cliche where it becomes like a folk tale, like, oh, like it could have happened, or do it becomes the essence of, does it happen, you know? Does the things that I foresee and the things that I desire happen? And do I get the opportunities that I want? Do I get the right person to open their eyes and see the diamond in the rough, you know? Like, it is incredibly hard to build something that no one has ever seen before, but then to do it alone is even harder. And I think I get frustrated, like, is it not enough? Is it selfish? Is the thing that I'm missing that is just not clear enough that I don't get? Or is my time coming, you know? And I get these epiphany moments and these inspirational ideas that seem to work and seem to get me going for a little bit, but in the end, the opportunities is just not presenting itself, you know? And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to always have to compromise on the things that you desire, and for people to say, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way, when in the end, you know you're only missing a couple things, and you just want them to see how bad you want it.